For those of you craving an extremely detailed and very open playstyle RPG this year, well, it seems like The Outer Worlds is definitely going to be the game for you. Today I want to talk about two very cool large bits of info about the game that was reported by two news outlets who recently got the chance to try the game out for themselves. This includes how to be able to lie your way through the entire game, as well as be able to kill every single NPC and still manage to finish it. So first, to start off, let's look into that fun, controversial human characteristic, the ability to lie. Many games today have unusual ways to play that the player can try and attempt. This is seen in Deus Ex, where you can perform a variety of difficult tasks, such as not killing anyone, never setting off alarms, and never being detected. I myself have achieved these goals in the Deus Ex games as I love the extra challenge, as well as the feeling of more or less being the optimal human being in the game. Well, with The Outer Worlds, it seems like there will be a task just as difficult as those, trying not to lie. We all know lying can either be good or bad depending on the context, but from the sounds of how this game handles lying, well, it's done in a pretty fun and bad karma type of way. From the short demos that the journalists got to play and experience in the game, there were many cases where they chose to lie. The first one talked about is how you can lie to a drug dealer who hires you to find his missing stash. And upon finding that stash, you can tell him you were unable to locate it and keep those beautiful spacified substances for yourself. Other examples included being able to lie about a mom's missing son, pretending to be an athlete to investigate murder, and even lying to security guards and using a factory disguise to sneak past them and murder the owner. The journalist stated that the game very much felt like Hitman in terms of the colossal amount of ways to approach situations, but in the end all the most fun ones were done by lying, as there's just so much more to be gained from doing so. However, from this it might sound like you can literally lie your way through the entire game. While lying will indeed have its limits, the quality of the lie that you're telling has to meet the quality of the people you're lying to. This means the more powerful and intelligent an NPC or group is, then lying might not work, and if you attempt that, it'll end badly for you. So you have to analyze and intelligently decide how to best approach every situation, as you can also apply other skillful conversation tactics, such as persuasion, charm, and intimidation. To me this sounds absolutely amazing, and even if the reports on the weaker gunplay and Fallout 3 style movements are true, we all know why we love Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, for the story, characters, and absurd level of player choice that exists in the game, including the ability to kill every single living soul that dares to stand between you and your objective. Since this game is indeed made by the same guys of the original Fallout games and Fallout New Vegas, those games allowed you to kill most living beings, unlike the Fallout games made by Bethesda Game Studios. And that tradition stands here as well. In The Outer Worlds, you'll be able to kill any and every NPC you want, and still end up beating the game. Funny enough, this has actually made the development of the game 10 times harder than it would have been otherwise. According to senior designer Brian Hines, Mr. Hines said that being able to murder anyone makes it almost seem like a development hell, as they have to have backups in place for every critical quest giver or NPC. He gives a specific example where he states, "Anyone you see you can kill. There's got to be a way to get whatever they're going to give you, whether it's a terminal entry, or you can loot something off of their body, or there's a chest in their office that you would now lockpick to get the information from. We got to start figuring all those out. When we're looking at the quest itself, we have to now have updates that will fire to show, okay, you got this information by doing this, and make sure that the dialogue makes sense. For example, you can't have an NPC saying that you bought an item from someone when you ripped it off their cold dead body. So that adds complexity, and also the localization budget goes through the roof. If you're like me, then you're probably wondering how is it even possible to make sure all the variables are accounted for, and that the player can actually beat the game. Well, for this, Mr. Hines explains, we start off with the area designers creating a general stub for a conversation, like, here are the various options we want to make sure that are accounted for and are converted by the NPC, and we try to include all the various death states in there. From there, the conversation goes to the narrative design team, which fleshes out the details into a full-length, human-sounding back and forth. Usually what happens at that point is then Q&A finds bugs. Oh, we gotta have this whole other branch of conversation for this possibility. So a conversation that they started out writing as very compact and concise now starts growing much bigger, because they have not had to handle a lot of other states. When we're in the middle of bug fixing, everyone wants to make an easier game. But as soon as we start pre-production, we start talking about like, these are the games we love. So as much as we regret it, what we're gonna have to do with all the bugs, I don't think we'd want to make anything else. That really does sound like a pain to develop, and I can easily see why so many other developers go with the option of just making the other critical NPCs invulnerable, as it greatly reduces the stress and pressure on the development team. But I for one am extremely happy to hear about how the developers are still putting these features in the game, as they know how much more fun and replayability it adds to the experience. Hopefully these developers are well compensated for their efforts, and enough players buy it when it's released on October 25th of this year. I for one can't wait to try out this game for myself and upload my review of it. And after how amazing New Vegas was, I feel like this game has a good chance of being my favorite RPG of 2019. What do y'all think of this news though? Are you excited that this game has this much player choice and depth included in how you play the game? And are you going to do a playthrough as a chaperone of good, or as a merciless killer destined to wipe out everyone? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you like this video and you want to see more like it, be sure to leave a like, share the video, and hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you all on the next Shepherd Gaming video. Kila Salai.